As a journalist, it was the proudest moment of his life, he said this past week, standing next to the legendary Walter Cronkite. He and Cronkite were to have co-anchored the upcoming John Glenn shuttle mission in October.
Let me take you out into the cargo bay where the astronauts who were supposed to...
Covering space was Holliman's most recent assignment, and he launched into the dynamics of man and machine reaching for the stars like a cub reporter on his first cop beat.
Red dot just above the equator.
A gifted conversationalist, John Holliman delighted in humanizing his work. For example, testing NASA's latest spacesuit.
You're supposed to raise your arms straight up, then push up into it, turning your head to the side. Finally, poking your head out. Looks to me like the average guy can do this.
He was anything but average.
My experience in being under attack is very limited, I'm proud to say. But you can perhaps hear the sound of bombs in the background. We're going to put our microphone out the window. I think you'll be able to hear this sound. Holy cow. That was a large airburst that we saw.
Holliman gained international fame in 1991, along with Peter Arnett and Bernard Shaw as one of the boys from Baghdad, the trio that courageously broke the story of the Persian Gulf War.
I have my head in the window. I'm looking out over the street now. There are a couple of vehicles down there on the streets below that have bright lights attached to them. While you're reporting, I just want to pull your head out of that window.
When national TV critics gave their highest award to CNN that year for the war coverage, Holliman accepted the tribute with humility.
But for all of us who have participated in some little way in CNN's coverage for the past year or the past many years, getting an award from the Television Critics of America is major league for us.
The Georgia native began his career with CNN in March 1980 as the network's agriculture editor. Then it was off to Washington, where he mixed his homespun Southern insight to the complexities of national politics. "I'm not one of your handsome TV reporters," he once told a colleague, "but I try and make up for the cosmetic value with perseverance and honesty."
Mr. President, a couple of weeks ago, you made a public appeal to American businessmen for each of them to...
Like many reporters, he jousted with the powerful and the ordinary, but he never considered himself a Washington insider. He was on the scene, however, when big news broke.
The man suspected of shooting at the presidential party earlier today is now one floor above us, being questioned by detectives of the D.C. police.
His peers at CNN knew him as the one individual who could glibly take the uninteresting story and make it interesting.
If you've been to the gas station since Wednesday, you know prices are up.
And as Hurricane Aaron roared across northern Florida in 1995, his common touch was, as always, sensible, down to earth.
I'm not a good wind forecaster. We've got our wind speed gauge in our car, but it only goes up to 70 miles an hour. I'm sure this wind is a lot stronger than that.
He could do it all as a reporter, and along the way, he won the coveted George Foster Peabody Award, a National Headliner Award, a Golden Microphone Award, to cite a few. John's smile, his humor, and his contagious optimism brightened the lives of all who met him, said CNN News Group Chairman Tom Johnson. He was simply one of the most loved members of the CNN family. Reporting was John Holliman's profession. His wife, Diane, and his 5-year-old son, Jay, was his life, his joy. Shakespeare said it best. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. A man, we should tell you, who left a message on his computer Friday afternoon to his little boy in an office suddenly grown silent and lifeless.